December, more games under our belt. The power rankings starting to take shape. They're still riding with the middle of the pack, but trending upward.
Well, right now for the Suns, they love the situation they're in right now, playing very well, but looking ahead, they know there's still a lot left to prove.
So the opening lineup for the Suns. Rubio and Booker, they're the backcourt. Kelly Oubre out there with Frank Kaminsky. And it's Ayton in at the 5 down low. And for the Trailblazers, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Whiteside is out there with Nurkic, and it's Hood in at the 3, the small forward. Brent, 2 explosive backcourts. When you were playing, who was the toughest guard that you found to defend?
Well, I would start off with a guy named Allen Iverson. And the reason that I start with that, Kevin, the reason I start with Kevin is I just saw the back of the jersey all the time, so I remember Iverson clear as day. But if I went deeper, I would tell you guarding the Hall of Famer Mitch Richmond at the time when he was playing for the Sacramento Kings. He would run an offensive set, much like for Reggie Miller, multiple screens by a bunch of guys who were big and strong. That was not good for me to try to fight through those kind of screens. But if you gave Mitch Richmond 8 inches...
And Richmond was strong and had bulk to his body.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
I can see the bruises. And here's Booker following the three-pointer by C.J. McCollum.
Such a creative scorer as Devin Booker. Look at him just checking out the options and scoring that time.
McCollum finds Hood. Here's Lillard. The tray. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Rubio dishes to Booker. Rubio against Lillard. Fires from the wing. And the Suns tack on 2 more.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit more on their radar after knocking down something like that.
Basket good. Lillard's got 5 points so far.
This is why I love his game. You really have to admire his tenacity.
Nurkic against Ayton. He feeds it to Oubre, and the basket is good.
That's a good find from Ayton, understanding the defensive scheme, and he just waited for his teammate to be open.
Outside Hood. Pass to McCollum. Now the pass to Lillard. Off target with his 3. Suns trail by 3. Here's Oubre. Rebound by Nurkic.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Over to the wing. And Rubio kicks to Booker. Clock at 6. No good that time. Good work defensively by Whiteside. And Brent, for all the success Booker has had as an individual, he's ready to focus on winning.
Well, focus on winning is one thing, but first focus on leadership, as this team has a new coaching staff, an opportunity with a lot of young talent. Devin Booker is the guy a lot of people are looking towards to make sure that Phoenix rises and finds a way into the playoffs.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Pau Gasol, he's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Zach Collins comes in for Hassan Whiteside. And Mario Hezonja subbed in for Rodney Hood. And now, here's Hezonja. Devin Booker missing his last shot. And the basket by McCollum.
That's a nice J off the pass there. CJ's shot has a great release point. And when he squares up like that, Kevin, you can count.
And the dunk by Booker.
How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there and just gets to the rack really easy.
1:56 left in the first quarter. And finish off by Hezonja.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Really not enough help there. Lack of communication on the backside.
Phoenix with the ball after the Trailblazers pick up 2. And here's Johnson outside. And it's Gasol with the rebound. Trailblazers leading by 8. Lillard outside. Passes it to Hazania. Takes a shot at the elbow, and it's wide right. It's off the rim. Here's Bridges. Lays it up off the glass.
All the way to the bucket. No resistance. Just swipe the candy from it.
To the paint. Here's Collins. And finished off by Collins.
Well, if you go to Lehigh, of course, you're going to make smart plays. McCollum good at sensing when his man was going to be wide open.
Here's Sharch. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers.
For him, it's harder to miss that shot than it is to make that shot. I think he was anticipating a bit of a bump there.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
If you walked in at any point during this game to watch 5 minutes of play, one team played harder. You know who that was.
Now Hazonia. After Mikal Bridges missing on that last three-pointer. And he finishes the break with the lay-in.
And that's how you do it. Impressive play, explosive finish.
Yeah, sweet finishes like that, you see everybody get up. Look at the guys on the bench. They're fired up.
Now here's Lillard. Playing Dallas, he was nearly unstoppable. And here's McCollum for 3. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep.
Yeah, they built up this lead 3 points at a time.
Well, a lot of importance placed on outside shooting. And tonight you can see why after that kind of quarter exploding from the perimeter.
Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. It's the Trailblazers up by 11. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. The NBA game drawing fans from every culture. And Pau Gasol definitely feeling the love from the Spanish and Latino community.
I always notice the fans that support us and make us feel, pretty much since I got to the NBA, all the Latino fans showed a lot of love and support towards me, so I appreciate it.
The game going global, and no better ambassador than Pau Gasol.
And as the players grow more international, fans from every country and continent, for that matter, finding more and more reason to root for the NBA.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And guys, the Trailblazers enjoying a nice lead here.
On the attack right from the tip, they've been relentless offensively.
Well, just taking it right at the opposition and the other team right now. No answers and no way to slow them down.
We've got Mario Hazonia. Pau Gasol is out there with Collins. Then it's Damian Lillard, and it's Bazemore at the 2. They're the group the Portland Trailblazers will start the second quarter with.
The thing about Lillard is he can go with either hand when he's attacking the rim, and that makes it very difficult to defend.
Here's Baines. Portland making their last shot. Johnson outside. On the wing, Johnson. A rebound by Hazonia. Portland leading by 13. You talk about role players with attitude and confidence. Brent, you're talking about Hazonia.
Still so many people intrigued about Hazonia and his ability to play in the NBA. Seems like the situations that he's been in have not been ideal. So an opportunity here in Portland to show how he can fit into a system and how he can consistently perform.
Here's Saric following the score by Damian Lillard. Nice step back to get it off. Saric has got his second bucket of the night.
And how about capitalizing there in close? Saric has the touch to take advantage from just about anywhere.
What a performance on the offensive end. He's making the defenders pay right now for all of the mistakes they're making.
And so here's Phoenix following the score by Damian Lillard. Johnson for 3. A rebound by Hazonia. For Portland, they've gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Collins passes to Hazonia. Now here's Bazemore. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And the shot is good from Johnson.
Again, lefties are so tricky. He's not afraid to pull up and shoot that soft floater from time to time.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
A lot of people over the past couple of seasons wondering if C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard would be together. Well, the franchise has made that commitment to them financially. They've kept up great chemistry and great leadership with this team. Have the additions in the offseason been enough to push Portland forward?
Trailblazers. Yusuf Nurkic. He's checked in for Gasol. Hassan Whiteside comes in for Collins. Rodney Hood subbed in for Mario Hezonja. Phoenix also making some changes. Frank Kaminsky, he's checked in for Saric. Oubre comes in for Johnson. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Mikal Bridges. And here's Rubio after Damian Lillard was able to get the three to go. When you think about Lillard and McCollum, both four-year star players in mid-major schools, Brent, they're used to leading the way and being accountable for the outcome.
Well, they also are very cognizant, Kevin, of recognizing what their contributions can do to lift their teammates. Always quick to compliment the guys that do the dirty work. This is one of the most dynamic duos in terms of backcourts that we have in the NBA.
And the first one drops.
You know, for all the talk about Rubio's passing, I think one thing that gets overlooked is his defense. Both his on the ball and defensive rebounding are very strong for the point guard position.
And so Ricky Rubio nails both of them. Well, we hear this all the time. Good defense beats good offense. Do you think that's true?
I don't know how defense scores. So in today's game, seeing the juggernauts and seeing what we've seen, Kevin, quite frankly, as some of the best offensive teams, not only in the last 5 years, but in the history of the league, around the Houston Rockets and what the Golden State Warriors have been able to do. It's about equipping your team defensively to be able to stop that stylistically. But certainly, every coach will say it comes down to defense because that is something you can control.
Now here's Lillard following the miss by Frank Kaminsky.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And Rubio kicks to Oubre. Back to Rubio. Got it from 16 feet. Rubio's got 4 points this quarter.
And you got to get up tighter than that. Some players you can give that much room to, but not him.
There's the lob to Lillard, and then Lillard slams it in.
He's just such a dynamite scorer, and for 82 games of a regular season, Lillard's in attack mode.
And Rubio kicks to Oubre. Johnson surveying the floor. Pass to Oubre. And here's Rubio. From deep. And the rebound by Nurkic. Nurkic has got 4 rebounds in this game. Hood for 3. Knocks down the 3-ball. Hood's got 8.
It's a good weapon for Rodney Hood when he's got his feet set. He can sometimes get it going from outside the arc.
It's Kaminsky, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Look at all the coaching changes that the Suns have had through the years, and some of these young players have heard a lot of voices. 7 in the last 8 years, and the team's performance has shown that kind of inconsistency with up and down seasons.
First one falls. And all the system changes have really affected the Suns scouting department.
Really difficult to fill out a roster when you've got coaching changes and philosophies that come about, and some guys simply just don't fit. So maybe they settle in here, find the right guys to do the right things, and get themselves back into the playoffs.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. Great for the Phoenix Suns at the franchise-high 9-year playoff drought. There is pressure on this team to find their way out of that long rebuild.
And their moves on draft night, they raised some eyebrows. They've got some young talent, but can new coach Monty Williams turn them into a winner? Long-suffering Suns fans certainly hope so.
Yep, that one goes. 6 points for Devin Booker.
Well, the defense knows Devin Booker, when he's in a rhythm, can be problematic.
Hood against Oubre. Out to the right wing. Lillard with no one around. And another 3 for Portland.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
And Rubio kicks to Booker. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. Fires the 3. Suns keep it alive. Second shot opportunity. And Ayton with the nice bucket inside. Ayton's got his first bucket in this one.
You know, if Ayton continues to play with that kind of effort, possession by possession, he's a real tough cover.
It's McCollum on the wing. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. Lillard's got 3 assists now in this one. And so it's Damian Lillard making things happen for Portland. He ends up dropping in 2 from distance, making a difference from long range in this one. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks. Pal, what have your areas of emphasis been tonight in the first half?
I just had to be aggressive from the beginning, take the shots that were there, move the ball, we're being unselfish. We were defending better in the first quarter, and we were able to knock down the shots.
So far, so good, pal. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Damian Lillard has been having a big night. He had 21 points and 3 assists. He's been in the midst of some incredible games lately, and tonight he's got it going again. What'd you think about Portland, Kenny?
Love the versatility of Lillard as a scorer. He hits from deep as anyone, and this side of Steph Curry, I'm not sure it will. And then, wait a minute, can you overplay him? And he takes you right to the rim.
Shaq, what'd you think about Phoenix?
Well, they gave up too many good looks. Look at the field goal percentage against them. This tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption, right? Like Kenny disrupts me all the time, not enough disruption.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. We're seeing a tremendous game from Damian Lillard.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half, just taking what he can get from the defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first half and wondering, did he take a low percentage shot? Everything efficient.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Rubio and Booker, they're the backcourt. Frank Kaminsky is out there with Oubre, and it's Ayton in at the 5 spot.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in cracking this huge lead.
Good, gets the bucket. Now Rubio. He's got 8. And looking at the numbers for Whiteside the last few years, Greg, it seems like his production has come back down a bit.
And for a minute, Whiteside looked like he could be a dominant center, but he struggled since his great 2017 season. Shot selection has been hurting, and sometimes it feels like he is in his own way as a player.
And it's Lillard missing.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Again, the miss by Booker. And that's a foul called on Kelly Oubre. That is his first foul of the game. The Trailblazers have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Lillard finds McCollum. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. 16 points for C.J. McCollum.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Kaminsky, the pass to Oubre. Booker with it. Covered by Hood. And Booker is good for 3. Booker's got 5 points now this quarter.
Just a great job of Booker, able to understand the timing and the quick trigger that time.
Lillard. McCollum outside. Clock at 4. Shoots from 14. And Portland again with the bucket.
Well, he knows how to get the shot off at any time on that pick and roll. Natural instincts taking over, and the experience helping McCollum as well.
Now here's Kaminsky. Booker the pass to Oubre. Over Hood. Off the left rim and out.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart.
And they'll keep possession. Hits. Got that one from Nurkic.
Yeah, when Nurkic goes across the lane there, hard to get him out of the way, and he collects the offensive rebound.
Pass to Kaminsky. There's the dish to Oubre. Here's Ayton. Nurkic with the block. Here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. And there's Lillard on the assist by McCollum. Lillard's got 23.
Always an appreciation for Lillard and his build, just how rugged he is, along with that fearlessness.
Right wing. Ayton kicks to Oubre. Knocks it loose. Drops in the layup for 2. Oubre's got his second bucket of the night. Player development, not just a coach's job, Brent, something you're active in right now. And, you know, there are some players who are playing currently who are terrific mentors and teachers on teams.
There's no doubt about it that there are guys I think about first what Vince Carter has provided to the teams. He's been around in the past couple seasons. Zach Randolph to some degree was doing that as he moved from Memphis to Sacramento. But there are guys who are still players and that are on the floor contributing and doing big things like Chris Paul and Mike Conley that are such huge attributes to an organization when they start to introduce the changeover in their roster or the next phase of their team. You got to give a lot of kudos and appreciate the fact that players who've been that great for that long accept and willingly accept, Kevin, the role of teaching young guys and paying it forward.
And role players that have been like Calderon and Haslam, who have not been stars, but have been important parts of their organization.
Also, tremendous examples of what it means to be a professional day in and day out. If your responsibilities aren't as great as the top 4 or 5 players, there's still things you can do to make your team better on a daily basis. Those are 2 great names, Kevin.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Pau Gasol, he's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Zach Collins comes in for Hassan Whiteside. Azania, he's checked in for Rodney Hood. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Damian Lillard. Now here's Shorich following the miss by C.J. McCollum. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. And this is what the schedule looks like coming up for the Phoenix Suns. On Thursday, they'll be playing against Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors. And then on Wednesday, they'll defend home court against the Orlando Magic. And so it looks like the Suns will retain possession here.
All right, a chance to check out the stats for McCollum. A very nice season for him last year. Last year averaged 21 points per, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And you look at his skill set, and I think it's just a matter of time before he commands a bigger presence on this team.
Yeah, just a bit rough around the edges, GA, but he has the tools. He just needs to sharpen them.
Now here's Johnson. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. 2 on the clock. Here's Shorich, and it's Phoenix scoring again. And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for Portland.
And the game plan against the Blazers, the last few postseasons has been trapping Lillard and McCollum and forcing someone else to beat.
Yeah, and you wonder if this is an opportunity for Zach Collins to really step into his own, along with Nurkic, who last year was injured during the playoffs, so that there can be some points and contributions coming from your power forward and center position. That'll ease some pressure on your backcourt.
Connects from three-point range.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
It's McCollum on the wing. Takes the three. It drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
And that's another three. And if the defense is hoping that they don't heat up from out there like they did in the first half, they may be in for a real bad surprise. How much do you love to see the turnaround?
Down low. Great pass to set up the lay-in. McCollum's got 25 points in the game.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Johnson, the pass to Johnson. Over Hezonja. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. There's 37 seconds left in the third. Get the teardrop, and it's finished off inside by McCollum. McCollum's got 13 points in the second half. Bridges passes to Shorich. Another 3 for Phoenix.
It does so much out there to stretch out the defense when he's out on the perimeter, and he drains the triple.
Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Johnson inside. He's guarded by McCollum, and the shot is good from Johnson.
Well, some good balance from Johnson. Incredible watching him maintain that focus. Look at his eyes on the rim there on that difficult shot. That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
And so it's Portland ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
What an advantage if your off guard can make plays so valuable.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Kent Bazemore is out there with McCollum. Then it's Collins, and there's Anthony Tolliver, and it's Little in at the 3 spot. That's the group on the floor for Portland. And there's a whistle. That goes on Mikal Bridges. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Simons. A lot of missing stats from the 60s and 70s, but if we could go back and look at those actual numbers, any players you think would really be catching our eye in terms of, I didn't know that guy was that good, or he's better than I thought he was.
Well, don't we always look at the incredible mind-boggling numbers of Will Chamberlain
yes,
and think, what was that guy doing?
Yeah.
And we don't even have half of it.
No.
So Will Chamberlain comes to mind first. What I think about Kevin when that question comes up is how many great players through the 70s and also really through the 80s, because the three-point line wasn't accentuated enough, missed the opportunity to be even greater scorers. I mean, Jerry West with a three-point line.
Can you imagine that?
You got to be kidding me. So there's a lot of gap of those players too that also, because of changes in rules and because the three-point line wasn't in, that we would be talking about in terms of nostalgia and their accomplishments with a much different voice.
Even someone as recent as Jordan, with the rules the way they are now.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
With the openness of the floor and what Michael could do, as if he wanted to prove he could do more. I mean, he is bringing his game, guys. Another jumper from distance.
Carter with it. He's picked up by Collins. Carter kicks to Bridges. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. Shot clock at 6. Here's Johnson. And it's Portland with the rebound.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
The pass to Little. That shot off the mark, and Phoenix will come the other way. Johnson surveying the floor. Oh, that's blocked. Here's Simons, defended by Carter. Simons, the pass to Little. Something Commissioner Silver has mentioned, Brent, the possibility of a mid-season tournament. Ever see that happening?
It'd be interesting to see if that idea grows some legs here, Kevin, and adopting what it is that in soccer leagues in Europe have done for many years, because teams hone in on what those individual cups mean and the competition raises, and you earn something for the end of the year. If Commissioner Silver can find a way to get that done, it becomes very intriguing, instead of an all-star weekend, to have teams gather for a mid-season tournament with something on the line. Elevated competition.
Well, kids play that at high school. They play that in the college level. It would make sense that it could fit in the NBA as well.
It'd be interesting, and especially halfway through the year, to reinvigorate your fan base with something like that, I think would be great.
Good point.
And when it came to three-point efficiency last year, somewhat surprisingly, Phoenix was dead last.
Well, you see the overall average there, and it's because the guys who handled the ball a ton didn't shoot it all that well. Booker shot under 33%. So did Tyler Johnson. So did Kelly Oubre after he came over in the trade. So maybe a new offensive system will help these guys find more consistency in that area.
That free throw, no good. Second free throw, no good. Brent, with advanced analytics becoming commonplace in the NBA, which stats do you personally hold most valuable?
Well, it's amazing to talk about effective field goal percentage. I laugh a lot about...
Which is everything shooting, free throws.
Yeah, well, I like to use true shooting percentage, Kevin, because that's where you adopt three-point shooting percentage, two-point shooting percentage, and your free throw percentage.
Everything.
But in talking to a lot of people around the league, general managers and coaches, I laugh inside to myself a little bit, like, oh, so now shooting's important? Like what? Like now shooting's important around the league?
Right.
As if, you know, the time that you go out to start playing basketball, you grab a ball, you go towards the goal, and your goal is to make the shot. And so we're talking so much more about how much shooting is valued. Effective field goal percentage is tremendous, with true shooting percentage being not far behind.
And he makes both free throws.
Go back to 2015, the Blazers lost 4 of their 5 starters in the offseason. So instead of rebuilding, they retooled around Damian Lillard, and what a piece to retool behind. Amazing how far they've come in the past couple seasons, where they've placed in the Western Conference.
Good on the three-point shot.
Okay, that was a sweet move. Oubre, the lefty, hard to read off the bounce.
Passes it to Collins. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him. Well, you know, Brent, you've got to give a lot of credit to the Blazers front office, continuing to fortify this roster with under-the-radar acquisitions.
Interesting adjusting around a couple of albatross contracts to now have a team that's capable at positions that a lot of teams are trying to fill. That's the wing position.
And look, a tough rookie season for Zach Collins, but boy, he's bounced back much better in terms of shooting, showing why he was taken in the top 10 back in 2017.
Now here's Diallo. Johnson attacking, and it's good for 2.
2 teammates connecting right there. Slick feed.
And Simons, who's got the ball here for the Portland Trail Blazers. To the right side. Here's Trent. Shot is good off the back rim and in. And you look at Collins, able to protect the rim and space the floor offensively.
And fits that modern template for an NBA center. Time will tell how good he can be, but he's already making an impact.
And it's the Suns with the ball. Portland making their last shot. Diallo finds Oubre. Carter and the Suns tack on 2 more.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Portland.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season. And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for C.J. McCollum.
Just does a great job of looking for space and then finding it. That's taking advantage of what the defense is giving you.
And once they smelled blood in the water, you could see the killer instinct take over.
Yeah, up until that point, a competitive game, but once they broke through that barrier, it was all them. Complete control.
Now here's Johnson, and that one drops.
I could see that contact really didn't bother Oubre Jr. on that possession.
They're making this a runaway.
And the only question for me right now is just how big the lead will eventually become.
Hits the three-point bomb.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
Awesome to see their output tonight, trying to urge their team on, and that can always help. That home advantage of home fans getting you going, fully on display here.
Well, at this point, they're just trying to get back in sync. You want to play a good brand of basketball.
Consistency definitely is a key to some of the playoff performing teams, and tonight they just did not find it in this contest.
Yeah, he's going to knock that down if you give it to him. Uncompetitive there defensively.
The defense also looking defeated. The lack of hustle is driving the coaching staff a little bit batty.
And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of the crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home, no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Damian, it looks like this team's progress can be measured by your improvement at the defensive end. And did we see that tonight?
We made some mistakes like every other basketball team does, but I think we did a great job of
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, DeMar DeRozan is a prolific scorer, but he's also a dangerous drive and kick weapon. He said, "I never pay attention to the defender guarding me. I look at the 4 guys behind him and how they react. A lot of times I don't even look to score. I draw 3 or 4 guys and get my teammates open shots." Kevin?
Great vision, David. Thank you. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. You look at San Antonio. They couldn't hold their position this week, but remain in the top 10.
And you know, right now for the Bulls, they're kind of in a little bit of a holding pattern early on, trying to find answers to a few questions, but overall playing a solid brand of basketball.
And to look at the starters for San Antonio, it's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. DeJounte Murray is out there with White, and it's DeRozan in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Bulls, Markkanen is out there with Carter. Then it's Otto Porter Jr. Then it's White, and it's Levine in at the 2. Where you start in the standings could be very different, Clark, from where you finish. As a team, what do you do to continue to improve as the season goes on?
I think it's a combination of little things and guys getting more familiar and more accepting of their roles. But I think it's always attention to detail, Kevin. That's really where teams make the most improvement, not forgetting the little things on a daily basis, the habits that produce winning over time.
And here is Murray following Otto Porter's 3. Pirtle against Markkanen. Pass to Levine. Carter right side. Count it.
Boy, a terrific find. Levine plays mostly the 2, but he came into the league as a point guard.
And Murray's got the ball here for the San Antonio Spurs. It's a 5-point game. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
And just couldn't make the most of their meetings last year. Ended up splitting the season series.
Yeah, you know, most teams have games where they wish they could get a mulligan or take it back. Well, last year, their one loss in this series was one I know they wanted back.
Now here's Murray. Inside, here's Pirtle. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Really amazing body control by Pirtle, just taking the hit head on and finishing through the contact. I love it.
Levine dishes to Porter. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Fires from the line, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
How about that move? You'll see very few players able to pull off just sensational stuff.
Murray against White, and the shot goes down.
Well, that floater is a shot Murray's had his whole life, guys. The first time I saw him back in college, I could tell right away, instantly, what a great feel he had for that shot.
A nice shot by Carter.
And this is how you want to start the ball game. 4 for 4 from the field. Seems like they're right on point and can't miss.
To the middle. Oh, and the jam by DeRozan.
Well, you throw it his way, and DeRozan is going to capitalize. When he takes off, he's looking to throw it down with no hesitation.
And White kicks to Levine. Puts it up from 15. San Antonio with the rebound. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, their defense was just overrun. Couldn't match the intensity of the opponent, and it cost them.
And you know what, guys? It just seemed like they never really had the kind of energy necessary. They just weren't comfortable on the defensive end.
Yeah, going hard to the rack, making a statement here early on.
Yeah, that's how he rolls. I mean, intimidate the opponent right now.
DeRozan's shot is off.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Murray against White. 6 to shoot. Feeds it to Carter. That one goes in for him too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
And a solid playmaker. White has a great sense for when he should look to give it up.
Murray the pass to White. Now Pirtle outside White. Aldridge. It's good on the putback.
Boy, Aldridge using those long arms of his to corral that offensive rebound.
Right down low. He's covered by Murray. Here's Carter, and then Carter with the dunk. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Every timeout, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
And I agree. I think there's going to be a new wrinkle in their game plan when they come out of this timeout.
With an almost entirely new group. Thaddeus Young, he's checked in for Lauri Markkanen. Denzel Valentine comes in for Porter. Saransky's checked in for Zach LaVine, and it's done in for White. Now here's Mills. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Gay, that's good.
Yeah, it's important for Gay to be able to finish in traffic. I mean, he's so much better when he shows some physicality and toughness.
And you've heard the saying on Death and Taxes. The San Antonio Spurs might be that third thing you can count on.
Yeah, I agree. A model of consistency, and that starts with culture and chemistry and commitment. And they play smart, they play together, and they rarely beat themselves. And that's one of the reasons the Spurs have been one of the greatest pro sports franchises in history over the last 25 years.
Here's Satoransky after Rudy Gay's bucket over Bellinelli. And that one hits back iron. Their offense has been great here.
Yeah, the ball movement has been terrific, and they've kept the defense off balance.
Love the rhythm with which Bellinelli plays, moves without the ball, and does a nice job shooting off the dribble, too.
Done shot's good.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
You know, guys, if they're inside, that shot probably gets blocked. But from mid-range, I mean, he's able to get it off over the bigger defender there.
Here's Carroll. Chris Dunn making his last shot. Gay, that's a two-pointer. Carter pulls it in. Chicago leading. To the inside. Young. The shot's good on the assist by Satoransky.
Well, you can't rattle Young. I mean, when he's focused on scoring, there's little the defense can do to stop him.
And here's Gay. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Here's the three. A shot that time, not on target. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Bulls lead by 4. And we'll return shortly. And in 2018, DeMar DeRozan opened up about his battles with depression, hoping to have a positive impact on others.
People ashamed to talk about it. Even myself, for a long period of time, people wonder why I was such a quiet guy, and that was part of it, not wanting to speak out about it, not wanting other people to know exactly what I was going through. But you get to a certain age where you feel like it's all about helping others. It's not about you just being a selfish person about the things you're going through. Other people going through stuff as well.
You love the honesty and the bravery to step forward and tell his emotional story.
Yeah, he opened a dialogue. Kevin Love following his lead to talk about anxiety. Athletes as public figures can have a broader impact than just entertaining, and we see it over and over again.
And And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for Chicago.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. Hills at point with Bellinelli. They're the backcourt. Rudy Gay is out there with Lyles. And it's Carroll in at the small forward. Now, so many people were worried about Chris Dunn's offense after his rookie year. But you know what, Greg? He's turned it around.
And gone from struggling to hit 40% of his shots to shooting better from the floor. Still a strong defender, and he's making people forget that his offense was ever a question.
Here's Satoransky after Rudy Gay's bucket. And Young kicks to Dunn. Carter right side. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn. Carter's got 12 in the game.
Well, one thing you like there is the extra pass. Evidence that the game is starting to slow down for Dunn.
Passes it to Bellinelli. Spurs passing it around. Lets it go. That is good. And the Bulls lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from Gay.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Satoransky against Bellinelli. And that one is stuffed right through.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, G.A., the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up. Impeccable mechanics this quarter. He's been perfect from the field.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And Clark, when you were playing, I imagine the pre-draft process was a lot different than it is today.
No doubt about it. I mean, I came out in 1982 after my junior year, Kevin, and at that time, if you were a guy who was declaring early, you basically just had to go on whatever knowledge and information you could get from whoever, because there was no allowing you weren't allowed to go to a workout. Teams could interview you, but there were no on-court workouts, so it was totally different from today.
An almost entirely new group here. Ari Markkanen's checked in for Wendell Carter. Otto Porter Jr. comes in for Valentine. Levine's checked in for Satoransky, and it's White in for Chris Dunn. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Trey Lyles. DeRozan comes in for DeMar Carroll. White, he's checked in for Marco Bellinelli. And Murray's subbed in for Patty Mills.
Just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Somebody you can count on. He is an extremely reliable finisher.
And for a player that didn't come in with a lot of fanfare to the NBA, Markkanen is one of the top young players in the league.
Yeah, call him the marksman or the finisher. Call him Larry Bird if you like. Fantastic stretch four, who showed he could be a focal point of an offense, can play with an edge as well, and is just scratching the surface of his potential.
Boy, in this day and age of how the game is played, Markkanen's skill set, hand and glove fit, superb at spacing the floor with his shooting stroke.
Now here's Murray. Deflects the pass. And it's White missing. Spurs trail by 4. Murray the pass to Aldridge. Here's DeRozan. Drains it from beyond the arc. DeRozan's got 5 points so far.
You know, when DeRozan's able to connect from there, it really opens up the floor for his teammates.
Aldridge against White. That one good for two.
Awesome execution that time. Ran his man right off the pick tight. And nobody rotated over to help.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Pirtle, he's checked in for Rudy Gay.
The athleticism and blinding speed White possesses is impressive. This guy plays with a lot of moxie.
Now here's Murray. And the call will be against Thaddeus Young. That's his first foul. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Back to DeRozan. Pass to Pirtle. And he lays it straight in. Pirtle's got his second basket.
You know, that's a veteran play. DeRozan stays open to all possibilities. That's seeing the game in front of you. Excellent find.
Now here's Markkanen. And in the game with Washington, he did not play well. 6 on the shot clock, and stolen by Murray. With some arc. Here's Pirtle, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
The battle to a standstill on the boards has really been something to watch, and the game's not over yet. We'll see if one of these teams maintains more energy than the other going down the stretch.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. Good shot.
On the free throw, no good. Take a look at the NBA. Who's the best, you think, Clark, at controlling the defensive glass, getting the missed most shots and getting their offense back in gear?
Yeah, I think even though he's a bit undersized, he does a great job. Draymond Green, not only does he rebound the ball defensively, but he also can ignite the break because of his ball handling and passing ability. Giannis Antetokounmpo does a great job on the defensive backboards, as does Joel Embiid. He's somebody that's really comfortable carrying the offensive load.
A minute 42 left in the first half. He makes another one. That's 4 up and 4 in to start his game.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
White finds Markkanen. Good on the bucket. Markkanen's got his second bucket tonight.
And Markkanen is used to having the defense all over him. I mean, he's a marked man, especially this close. Somehow, though, he finds a way.
Now here's Murray. And there's the feed to Aldridge. Good defensive work there by Young.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And you know what? When it comes to alley-oops, few are better at finishing than Thaddeus Young.
Here's Murray. Thaddeus Young picking up that last basket. Back to Murray. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Levine against White. Levine up top. Last game 26 points. Shows up on the high post. Rebound San Antonio.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
Here's DeRozan, and it's San Antonio with another.
You know, they'll put the ball in DeRozan's hands and run the pick and roll all day long. He's phenomenal at getting good shots in that set.
And that's it for the first half of action in what's been a very close game here. It's the Spurs leading by just 1. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Rudy Gay has been getting it done. He had 12 points and 1 rebound.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Rudy Gay having a dominant impact in this game.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's doing exactly what he has to do. Using his body, shaking off contact, and then finishing at the rim.
Markkanen is out there with Otto Porter Jr. Then it's Wendell Carter. Then it's Zach LaVine. And it's White in at the point guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. And Clark, ordinarily quiet by nature, LaMarcus Aldridge has become a more outspoken leader in recent years.
Yeah, and that's a good sign. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone for the good of the team. Aldridge is, by nature, a laid-back, quiet guy, and sometimes that can work against the team. But in his case, he realized that he needed to be more vocal and stepped into doing that.
Here's LaVine following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
You know, guys, sometimes that just happens, but you don't like to see it when the game is this close.
San Antonio leading by 3. Murray outside. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Murray's got 6.
You know, that's one thing, guys, Murray's never afraid to do. Lean in, draw contact, and put the defender in a bind.
Here's LaVine. Makes good on the step-back jumper.
Well, he could have earned some style points there, but he really doesn't need to use the fadeaway when he's that wide open.
There's the pass to Purdy. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got 3 assists in the game.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Now here's LaVine. He has 7. Goes up on the wing, and it's good off the back rim and in. LaVine's got 4 this quarter. And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for San Antonio. They lead by 4. That one doesn't drop. And it's Chicago the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand.
And Markkanen, the big fella, has nice court vision, solid at finding open teammates.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Changes for Chicago. Valentine's checked in for Porter. Satoransky comes in for LaVine. And Chris Dunn subbed in for White. Then for the Spurs, Trey Lyles checked in for Jakob Poeltl. Gay comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh, that was a strong dunk. Tell you what, the length of Dunn really creates problems for the opposition. He's so good at getting his hands in the passing lane and coming up with steals.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you know, with that size difference, that's not an easy shot. I mean, I don't care how close to the rim he is, that's a tough shot.
To the paint. And he makes that one. Dunn's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half. They
dishes to DeRozan. Over Valentine. And DeMar DeRozan the bucket on the assist by Murray.
DeRozan has a dynamic mid-range game. Whether he's wide open or being defended well, he can knock it down from there.
On the left block, and the nice bucket inside from Markkanen. Markkanen's got it all tied up now for the Bulls. Murray outside. Pass to Bellinelli. Gay outside. Passes to DeRozan. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And they double up DeRozan. 3 from Gay. Markkanen pulls it in. Markkanen's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Dunn passes to Clark. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. And Clark coming out of Washington as a one-and-done. DeJounte Murray was considered a raw prospect.
Yeah, very raw. The 29th pick in the 2016 draft, guys, taken by the Spurs. Excellent physical tools and outstanding athleticism. It was surprising that he left when he did. I recall that when I heard. But at 6'5", a 7-foot wingspan, he's got a chance to be special.
Murray against Dunn. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
And Dunn is spectacular on the drive, seeking contact and getting it. Even more impressive that he makes these shots, too.
Outside DeRozan. And finished off by DeRozan.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys. And it was the same exact story last time out.
I wasn't quite sure if he'd be able to maintain that same level of play. I had my doubts coming into this game. But consider my doubts disappear. His mid-range shot is very solid. I mean, for some reason, the defense let him have it.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game fans aren't always privy to.
Yeah, typically there's some type of adjustment made out of a timeout. It might be major, or it could be just a slight tweak.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Young's checked in for Carter, and Porter subbed in for Valentine. The Spurs also changing it up. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Trey Lyles. Damari Carroll comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Mills in for Murray. Dunn passes to Young. To the middle. And Markkanen throws it down.
A fantastic heads-up play there from Young to find the open man.
Now here's Mills. Not a lot of room. Dishes to Aldridge. Chicago grabs the miss. Markkanen's got his 5th rebound in this one. And the Bulls, another 3.
Well, the first thought from the D there was to protect the rim, so good idea to take the 3 in transition.
Here's Mills inside. Aldridge. And the dunk by Aldridge.
You know, with all his post moves, Aldridge usually is able to trick the defense, but even when he doesn't, he'll still manage to finish through contact.
Satoransky with it. Gay picks him up defensively. Pass to Porter. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. White left side. On the clock. Over Mills. White. Good. White's got 5 now.
Nice read from the big fella. Markkanen demonstrating a solid feel with his passing.
Mills, that's a 2-pointer. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Back right after this. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. On the court right now for the Spurs, it's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. Derek White is out there with Mills, and it's Carroll in at the 3 spot.
Play him tight, come on.
To the wing right side. Knocked loose. Here's White. Uses the glass to finish the layup. We've seen some great competition in this one.
Yeah, 7 already in the game, and I think it shows you how well these two teams match up with one another.
Here's Porter. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got 3 assists tonight.
Fleshing out his game more and more. I really like seeing Porter go to work inside.
Here's Aldridge. Oh, and he jams it right over Lowry Markkanen. Wow.
Save that one for the dunk contest, LaMarcus. Big fella getting creative.
Hey, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Spurs?
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
And also, their mid-range game has been impressive. A tough shot to rely upon, but they really had it going tonight. Oh, that's some fancy ball handling right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble?
White, good.
And what body control. Even when White gets bodied up, he sticks with his shot.
The pass to Mills. Outside, White. Count the basket and the foul. It's on Zach LaVine.
As hot as he's getting, they have to plan on bringing the double team every time he touches it.
Chicago making a switch here. Carter's checked in. Then for the Spurs, DeMar DeRozan comes in for DeMarre Carroll, and Murray's subbed in for Patty Mills. And that one falls for White.
Derek White played his first 3 years at Division III UC Colorado Springs. This guy ended up being the 29th pick in the 2017 draft out of Colorado. In his lone season with the Buffaloes, he was all Pac-12 first team and all defense.
Free throw is good. And both free throws good for White. Chicago trails by 7. And White kicks to Porter. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Count that bucket.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Well, you don't want to give him any open shots at this stage. Never mind a layup. Come on now. My goodness.
Murray. Here's Aldridge, poked loose, and stolen by White. Here's Porter, count it, and he'll have a chance for a three-point play. That one on DeRozan.
And you talk about clutch plays, I mean, defensively and offensively, and we saw it right there.
And Porter, no good on that one.
And every year, Porter seems to get better. His three-point shot continues to evolve, and he's embraced taking on more responsibility. And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
Out to Carter. Corner shot. That's good. And it's Levine with the assist.
It's been like this all night for both teams. The offenses having their way.
Any lull in the action so far has been short-lived because there have been nothing but buckets in this one.
Young finds Levine. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth.
Tell you what, we've got a game. I like that Levine's rising to the challenge as things get tight.
Pass to Aldridge. Got a piece of it. Porter with it. Picked up by Aldridge. And here comes one. Leading the fast break. That gives them the lead. And the Bulls lead by 1. And guys, what do you think about the hustle steps for Chicago?
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
Chicago calls timeout. They trailed by 1. We've got 1:48 left to play here in the fourth. Present our Jordan Player of the Game, Rudy Gay.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good positions, and boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Jim Boylan talking with his team. This game is obviously close to go either way, and he wanted to make sure that his guys were all on the same page and were all staying with the game plan in order to close this one out. Kevin?
San Antonio calls timeout. They're trailing by 2. And there's 1:45 left in the fourth quarter. Left in the fourth quarter. Here's DeRozan. Oh, and he jams it right over Wendell Carter. Wow!
There's a reason we always see the ball in DeRozan's hands in a clutch situation. You know why it is? He's an absolute killer.
Levine, good. Levine's got 7 now in this quarter.
And that's right in his wheelhouse. Looking to make an impact when it counts.
You know, they want the ball in his hands here because they trust him to hit all the big shots. This is what scratches the itch for DeRozan. Moments like this, he lives for. Takes great pride in being the guy to knock down the critical shots.
Here's Levine. Rebound by Murray.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Takes the 13-footer. It falls!
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Cool, calm, collected, and confident in the biggest moment of the game? Yes.
Count! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
And there you go now. One of the NBA's rising stars. Levine stepping
making a difference between shot and gameplay. Throws it up high. Money!
And they still have a foul to give at this point.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're down by 2. 23 seconds left in the game. Seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Murray. He feeds it to Gay. Oh! He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
This is exactly what you can expect when you allow Rudy Gay to heat up. It's hard to cool off.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. The score knotted at 85. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth. Levine against White. Puts it up from 12. It's good!
Yeah, extremely crafty, smart, clever. Levine with the ball on the string, creating all the separation he needs to do work.
And so the big win by Chicago in a tight game. That was a fun night of basketball. Fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
Well, seems like they are. Thanks, DA. And a look at the recent power rankings. Some interesting stories here in the early part of December. They're still riding with the middle of the pack, but trending upward.
And when you look at the Mavericks, they were obviously hoping to start out better. Still, too soon to panic. But lately, they've had very little luck and seem to be trending in the wrong direction.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Rose is out there with Jackson, and it's Snell in at the 3 slot. And for the Mavericks, Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. J.J. Barea is out there with Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Marjanovic in at the 5. Now you look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
Kevin, the vision by Rose, right? Hits the open man. He's creating for others, and this guy is so tough to deal with.
Doncic feeling it out. Wide open. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Such a multi-talented threat on the offensive end, and you love his confidence.
Rose passes to Jackson. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
And Jackson has become a reliable three-point shooter. That's a shot you got to respect.
Some nice passing here by Dallas. Doncic, no good. The Pistons have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And finished off by Rose.
Gives the team such a great element, having a one guard who can get to the 10.
Certainly something every team wants to have.
Oh, you love it, Kevin. Fearless, aggressive, leaving no doubt whatsoever.
Now, here's Doncic. This game he had 12. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart. And guys, one thing that has been interesting to see since Blake Griffin came to Detroit is how he's developed as a leader, has come into his own with how he takes responsibility for the team's play.
And the first one at the line is good. And with Griffin, you look at his time on the Clippers, and for most of his career, he was more of a second in command.
Coach Casey said last year early on that Griffin is the leader of this team, and Blake took it upon himself to step up to the challenge. It makes sense no matter how you look at it. He's their best player and needs to be one of the leaders.
Now here's Porzingis. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Houston.
You know, Kev, I think you can see the strength that Porzingis has been developing over the early part of his career. That progress is showing up on a nightly basis.
Hardaway against Rose. Over Hardaway. And it's Rose. This time the assist by Drummond. Rose has got his second basket of the night.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Pass to Porzingis. Trying to get open is Marjanovic.
Well, that's a strong finish right there. KP not afraid to attack the paint, scored through contact. Woo-hoo.
Jackson passes to Drummond. Griffin against Porzingis. Outside for Jackson. Takes a 3. And another 3 for Detroit.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time, Greg. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
And here is Doncic. After Reggie Jackson was able to get the triple.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Here's Griffin, and finished off by Griffin.
And one for the highlight reel. And you see after multiple knee surgeries, Griffin can still get up.
Barea kicks to Marjanovic. Now, here's Doncic. Defense right on him. Pass to Barea. 5 on the clock. And here's Porzingis for a three. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Now here's Griffin. What a tremendous game he played against Houston. Barea against Jackson. And Doncic gets it to go.
You have to love the ball distribution. Keep everyone involved.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
And going back a season ago, it was a win for both sides in their two meetings.
You know, despite the disparity in talent, these two teams played each other tough last year. Let's see how competitive they are this time around.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Dwight Powell's checked in for Marjanovic. Curry comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's DeLon Wright in for J.J. Barea. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Markieff Morris is checked in for Andre Drummond. Christian Wood comes in for Blake Griffin. Doomboy is checked in for Tony Snell. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Derrick Rose. And here is Wright. After Reggie Jackson was able to get the triple. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. It's going to go on Markieff Morris.
Well, you think the ownership style of the Mavericks, something the league had to adjust to. Very active, very outspoken. Sometimes I think that rubbed people the wrong way. But now you get the sense it's almost the new normal.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Wright. And so Wright nails both of them. They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
Now here's Doomboy. And there's the pass to Wood, and the layup's good off the glass.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Jackson against Wright. There's 14 seconds left to play in the first. Out to Doncic. Hits it from three-point range. Doncic has got his third basket of the night right there.
No shortage of confidence from Luka Doncic. If he gets a clean pass, it's going up.
It's blocked. And that concludes a back-and-forth high-scoring first quarter of play. Pistons lead by 3. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother, developed a passion for the NBA.
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA always, and he always had pictures of Michael and then Kobe and Shaq, and then we both started watching a lot of NBA highlights. And then later on, 13, 14, Kobe and Powell, you know, I used to watch those guys play.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
Playing inside out in that first quarter led to some high percentage shots in the paint.
It is great when you can get that established early, because to me it opens up every other aspect of your game.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for the Pistons, Markieff Morris is out there with Wood. Then there's Doomboy. And there's Jackson. And it's Galloway in at the 2 guard. Shot clock at 6. From outside the arc, Porzingis with the block.
This guy shows great potential as a rim protector. Porzingis a threat to block shots anywhere, anytime.
Boris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcast?
Kevin, my first experience was I left Virgin and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the basement. Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. Right, the pass to Doncic. Curry on the wing. Knocked away. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
Oh, just a picture-perfect alley-oop. You gotta love that one.
A little surprised, Greg. He didn't go for the big slam, but it works just the same. Jackson against Wright. Shot is good, and the Mavericks lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from Jackson.
Well, we know he's got a lot of tools in the toolbox, but the finger roll might be the sweetest of them all.
Doncic finds Wright. It's good. Wright's got 6.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior. And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Well, credit him for going for it, not settling, saying, "I'm going to attack."
Man, as Dirk Nowitzki walks off into the sunset, the Mavericks seem to have found their next European superstar in Luka Doncic. The number 3 pick in last year's draft had a rookie season for the ages.
Here's Morris, and he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Morris has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, there's the intensity of Morris, playing angry, finishing through contact, nice.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. And Doncic, the EuroLeague MVP, led Real Madrid to a title. EuroLeague Finals MVP, all at the tender age of 19.
Incredibly accomplished. Despite that, slipped a little bit in the draft into the waiting arms of the Mavs, who moved up 2 spots to get him.
For Dallas, Marjanovic checked in for Porzingis. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Doncic. J.J. Barea's checked in for Curry, and it's Jalen Brunson in for Wright. And a different look here for the Pistons. Drummond's checked in for Markieff Morris. Griffin comes in for Christian Wood. Ray Snell's checked in for Doom Boyle. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Langston Galloway. Here's Jackson, and Jackson throws it down hard. Guys back and forth this first half.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Outside Hardaway. Back to Barea. Two on one as they jump out on the break. Here's Snell. Detroit keeping it alive. A new 14.
This guy has been a catalyst for them all game long. What a job leading them to this lead.
Johnson with it. To the left wing. Berea, that's a two-pointer, and it's Dallas with another.
Well, face up and drill. J.J. more of a scorer than a pure shooter, but looks good that time.
Jackson from long range. It's rebounded by Dallas. Pass to Hardaway. Now Brunson. Powell kicks to Marjanovic. Passes to Brunson. No good from outside. And so Griffin will bring it up for the Pistons. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. That one goes in.
Well, the rise and fire, now money in the bank for Derrick Rose. What beautiful development of the jump shot.
Here's Berea, 11 points last game. Pass to Brunson, uncovered, and another basket for Dallas.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
And Greg, you know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Pistons ahead, up one. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Derek.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. The story early on was Reggie Jackson, who was on fire. He had 18 points, 3 assists, and 1 block. And that's a wrap with the
second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Reggie Jackson has been sensational.
It's something that isn't his strength, but he's done a great job of finding the open man.
Well, what he did was sustain it throughout the first half. He ran the offense to absolute perfection.
Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Hardaway is out there with J.J. Berea, and it's Marjanovic in at the center. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas.
What a pass by Luka Doncic. He's got tremendous size, and obviously they want the ball in his hands.
Tries from 16. Jackson, that's good. Jackson's got 20. Guys, what a back and forth game this has been.
And that's already resulted in 7 lead changes. And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
Porzingis to 2, and that one off the back of the rim and in. Porzingis has got 11 points.
Nice pass here to set that basket up.
The pass to Jackson. Tries it from 19. Drummond, and Drummond is right there.
Taking back the lead once more. Give these teams credit. Man, they are battling.
Boy, Greg, neither team willing to give an inch, and neither able to seize the momentum. This has been a fascinating one to watch.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, there is a lot of optimism in Dallas for the tandem of Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis said, "We clicked right away. We're both European players, similar roots, both speak Spanish. That'll translate on the court. We can be something special." Kevin, look out for them to compliment and criticize one another in a different time.
If they play to their potential, they could be scary. Thanks, David. And there's the foul. It's on Tony Snell. That is his first foul of the game. And for the last half decade, Reggie Jackson has been good for about 15 points a game.
And that is about the consistency you can expect from Jackson. He's always been a talent. The key for him is just staying on the floor.
Mavericks making a switch here. Lights checked in.
Just streaking in, Galloway making the most of that one.
Correa, the pass to Marjanovic. Now Porzingis. Pass to Correa. Doncic outside. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over Doumbouya. Drills the baseline jumper. And that's 11 points for Luka Doncic.
Well, you want to talk about a picture-perfect jumper. Luka Doncic knows a thing or two about getting into the mid-range.
Here's Morris, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
And they've worked the ball around so well tonight for those quality looks from mid-range.
Wright finds Doncic. Stolen by Doumbouya. All alone, and the jam by Doumbouya.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Bounce pass from Wright. Passes it to Marjanovic. Wright outside. And that one's good. Marjanovic has got his second basket of the game. Doris, as you always say, there is a grace in handling wins and losses in this game, isn't there?
You know what, Kevin? There's an old saying that winning and losing are imposters, that it's everything to do with how you react to constant learning and growing experiences. And listen, everybody wants to win, but can you experience losing with grace and dignity? Can you embrace the joy of pure competition? To me, that's one of the beautiful things about the NBA. Men handle heartbreak and joy and set an example for the next generation. It's beautiful.
Dallas calls timeout. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
It's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Some changes here for the Mavericks. Dwight Powell's checked in for Marjanovic, and it's Jalen Brunson in for J.J. Barea. Detroit also making some changes. Christian Woods checked in for Doumbouya, and Tony Snell subbed in for Langston Galloway. And it's Wright missing.
And it didn't fall, but that's the kind of shot they want their offense to create.
You know, it can be frustrating when you make the right play and fail to reap the rewards. You just have to stay with it here.
And when he gets himself into the right position, Drummond so powerful in terms of finishing at the rim. The only way to prevent that alley-oop is to keep him from getting to the launching pad in the first place.
And Doncic gets it to go.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Well, the best players to me deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot, keep riding it.
On the wing, Doncic. There's the three. Slides through for his 7th basket in 11 tries.
I mean, you have to chase Luka off that three-point line. This guy is capable of hurting you from there.
Pass to Morris. Right against Rose. Connects on the 17-footer. Rose has got 8 points.
Well, it doesn't get much easier than that. Even a decent shooter is going to make that with no pressure.
Brunson scanning the floor. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And the dunk by Powell.
Outstanding timing from Powell. Rises up for the forceful alley-oop.
Offside Rose. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Doncic outside. The shot from the low post is good. Doncic has got 9 points in the quarter.
And so far, going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the three-point shot.
Rose against Wright. Now Rose. 1 second left. And Detroit again with the bucket. And so is Detroit, with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Well, this is why, Greg, great point guard play is so critical in today's NBA, and you see it right there on display.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth, we've got Wood. Jackson is out there with Derrick Rose. Then there's Tony Snell, and it's Griffin in at the center position. Bounce pass from Rose. Here's Jackson. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his fourth assist in this one.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
Well, when it's closing time, he's trying to lock the door. He's been going all night.
Pulls up for three, but it's good again, and an excellent 7 for 8 shooting night so far.
I'd say he gets on a roll, you better watch out. Rose is having a tremendous night. He's been relentless attacking.
Outside Curry. And the pass to Brunson. Outside Curry. Lock at 6. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Hard away from outside. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Yet another way Griffin beats you. Great body control going up over the top.
Brunson the pass to Porzingis. Porzingis is double. Outside for Curry. And another basket for Dallas.
Well, as reliable as it gets from the mid-range. Seth Curry very good at finding those opportunities in those spaces.
Here's Rose. Count it. And he's now 8 of 9 from the floor.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
And the Mavericks call time here. One of the stories here, Reggie Jackson getting it done today.
Well, I think this is a necessary timeout so they can figure out a way to limit the impact this guy's having from three-point range. They've got to dedicate more resources to their perimeter D.
Some changes here for the Mavericks. Marjanovic checked in for Dwight Powell. Doncic comes in for Curry. And Barea subbed in for Jalen Brunson. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear Rick Carlisle's message to his team. He got on him. He said he's got to see more intensity. He said we've put ourselves in this hole, and we've got to work our way out of it. Tell me you've got what it takes, guys.
Thanks, David. Down low, here's Doncic.
Well, this speaks to the feel that Kristaps Porzingis has for the game of basketball. If you're open, he'll find you.
Feeds to Griffin. And the rejection by Marjanovic. And he gets it back. Bucket is good. And the Pistons lead by 8.
and you can feel the excitement in the building. Both of these teams pouring it on.
There's been a bit of a flurry here late, and this game may come down to which side gets a stop or two.
Nailed from three-point land.
Now play a game of deep ball. I like it. Barea improved his range over these years.
Wood kicks to Rose. And Rose throws it down hard.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in. Wow, Porzingis, no hesitation in the balance of the game. He delivers.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
For viewers, timeout's a chance to check your phone, grab a drink, but for the teams, it's all about business.
Well, there's something that the coach doesn't like. I'm curious to see which kind of adjustment he makes here.
Chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Derrick Rose.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. And that has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
To the right wing. Griffin against Porzingis. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So one free throw coming up.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see. He was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
Fades and shoots. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. 15 points for Porzingis.
What you love is how complete a player Kristaps Porzingis is. There is a variety of ways with which he can score it. There is an imagination, a creativity. This guy's passing drives the offense.
Doncic outside. Back to Porzingis. From deep. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Well, he is so comfortable with his superstar status in the league. Porzingis excellent on the catch and shoot.
A nice shot by Griffin.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
1:12 left in the fourth quarter. Porzingis kicks to Barea. Hardaway from outside. Rebound, Detroit. They've led by as many as 11 points. And it's sent back by Drummond.
High motor keeps Drummond engaged defensively. He doesn't want to let any shots go in.
Boy, in that close, he's almost automatic. Boy, that's pretty good defense. Wow.
No good on the shot. Now Dallas takes it the other way. Porzingis is doubled. Hardaway again throws. It's good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And that one sends the bench into a frenzy.
I'll tell you, these guys have worked so hard together. Everyone pulling in the same direction. Beautiful to watch.
Got it!
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
This is a textbook example of playing the possession and not the score. This team is doing a great job continuing to execute.
Dallas calls timeout. They're behind by 4. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what's your take?
They're trying to stay alive. They've got to work quickly.
This is the very definition of desperation mode right now. They need a quick shot and a quick foul.
Porzingis inside, working on Drummond. Porzingis can't hit, and that's an intentional foul.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5.
Injuries have taken a toll on Griffin as he's gotten older, but shouldn't take away from what he's done over the course of his career.
He's off on the free throw and able to get that second one to drop in. Dallas calls timeout. They're trailing by 5. 11 seconds left to play in the final quarter.
Go.
11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's in!
Oh, you love the aggressiveness and the swagger that Porzingis has to take that shot. Such a clutch play from the Latvian.
First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Second one is good, and both at the line. It's a 5-point game.
Well, what a performer this guy is. Game is on the line. He stands up and delivers.
From deep three-point range, that shot no good. And so it's Detroit with the W. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall, so just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge.